Yes, sir. On the campus of Temple University, it is school day. More than 2,000 local elementary and middle school students are on campus at the Leacourt Center in Philadelphia. It's the American Digital Network, and this is American Athletic Conference women's basketball. The Golden Hurricane of Tulsa coming to town to take on the Owls of Temple. Well, hey, how you doing? I'm Keith Arizari. Thank you so much for joining us. Alongside me, the call is Jacob Wilkins. And Jacob, you look at these two squads, very different seasons. Temple, they're on the precipice of making it into the tournament. Tulsa almost trying to play spoiler.
Yeah, you have a Tulsa team that got off to a slow start.
American. We are the spark.
On the campus of... Well, hey, how you doing? I'm Keith Arizari. Thank you so much for joining us. Alongside me, the call is Jacob Wilkins. And Jacob, you look at these two squads, very different seasons. Temple, they're on the precipice of making it into the tournament. Tulsa almost trying to play spoiler.
Yeah, you have a Tulsa team that got off to a slow start, but then just scored their highest amount of points in team history with that 192 win over East Carolina. A Temple team, meanwhile, that's just rolling. 12-game winning streak, so many players that are weapons offensively, and a tenacious defense.
Jacob, we talk about some of the highlight players, and there's youth on the Tulsa side. We'll talk first about Kendrion Elliott.
Yeah, Kendrion Elliott, a star freshman on a team that has a lot of youth, and Elliott in particular averaging 17 points, 9 rebounds this past week in that win over East Carolina, in a loss to UConn, and she's making an immediate impact. Has started in 18 of 20 games.
All right, so she's the youth. Let's go over to the other side for the home squad. Now listen, there are probably 4 or 5 different players we could choose for Temple. Today we talk about Tanea Atkinson.
Atkinson, as you said, you could go Fionda Fitzgerald, you could go Butts, you could go a lot of different directions, but Atkinson on the AAC honor roll, and she's another freshman, averaging 20 points, 10 rebounds over the last 2 games, and she's a distributor as well. Multiple options for Atkinson on this Temple offense.
Atkinson's been coming off the bench most of this season, back-to-back double-doubles. Those are just 2 of the names and the faces we will see today. It's the Golden Hurricane, it's the Owls, it's school day, and this is the American Digital Network.
American. We are the spark that ignites. Dazzling. brilliant, intense. We are plugged in with the volume turned up all the way. Because on this court, on any given night, the energy of 5 becomes the power of 1. That's power. We are power.
A temple owl. Meet Stella. She's wise, fierce, and she's not alone. Temple University, where owls call home. We are the cherry and white. The city is our classroom, and we lead the rush hour, making our mark on every field around the world. A world without Temple, well, that's like the sky without the North Star. Temple, never stopping.
We are America, the conference of opportunity, the opportunity to chase dreams, the opportunity to make your mark and change the game. Because that's power. We are power.
Conference championship is right around the corner, taking place March 9th through the 12th at the Excel Center in Hartford, Connecticut, as all 11 American teams will compete for the automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. Tickets are priced as low as $199. Get yours today online by visiting www.excelcenter.com, in person at the Excel Center box office, or by telephone at 877-522-8499. We look forward to seeing you in March.
Back here at the Leocora Center on the campus of Temple University, Keith Irizarry, Jacob Wilkins. Glad to have you with us on the American Digital Network. Quickly get into our keys to the game.
Yeah, Keith, and for Tulsa, it's defensive intensity, as Temple is the one that needs to they allowed only 26 points in the first quarter. At Tulane, only allowed 26 combined in the final 3 quarters. And for Temple, following the shot, Temple second in conference in offensive rebounds. Tulsa last. For Tulsa, it's reducing turnovers. They had 23 against UConn Sunday and 20 against Temple the last time. And success from downtown. Need to shoot well from beyond the arc.
And a quick start for Tulsa. They go up 3-0 on a three-pointer from Ebony Parker. Aaliyah Butts the other way around misses. Temple in their home whites. Tulsa in their road blues. Get you the names as they get touches. Dixon now down low for Elliott. Elliott blocked away. A big block by Sophia Martin. Fionda Fitzgerald picks it up and misses the 16-footer. Weak side board, still no good. Temple, and they will restart. Fountain, three-pointer, back iron. So a little bit of a sloppy start for Temple early.
Teams getting out their jitters, and don't underestimate, Keith, the loud, voracious nature of this crowd on Kids Day.
15th annual school day. There are more than 2,000 local elementary and high school kids on attendance, and they've been here for 2.5 hours. Dixon three-pointer, too strong. It's a rebound for Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald, she's the pacemaker on the Staley and Lieberman list for national recognition as the potential best point guard in women's basketball. Donasia Fountain breaks the seal.
Fountain playing really well of late, coming off a 26-point performance against Tulane Sunday.
Wakefield crosses the timeline, hands it off to Ebony Parker. Parker, a junior. Now it's Elliott. She's a freshman. Averages just a shade under 10 points per game. Tulsa not afraid to move the ball fast. Now Shug Dixon. Dixon steps outside. Long again. Another rebound for Temple. It was Fountain this time. Aaliyah Butts in attack mode. Dish, Sherelle misses. Martin, left-hander, no good, but she was fouled, and she'll get 2 freebies.
It's so loud in here, Keith, you don't even hear the foul call or the whistle, and these kids were here early. I mean, they were here not just at 11:30 or 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock. They were being pumped up already.
Martin will go to the free throw line, a 58% free throw shooter, and rattles it home. Quick substitution. Ruth Sherelle will step to the bench. Player we highlighted top of the broadcast, Tanea Atkinson, a 5'9 junior from New Haven, Connecticut. Back-to-back double-doubles. will check in. Martin, both free throws are good. A deafening crowd here as Erica Wakefield hands it off to Spurl. Stolen away by Fountain. Fountain weaving in and out, off the glass, a little bit too strong, follows it up, the fadeaway shot is good, and Temple goes up 6-3.
And Tulsa's going to need to get off to a good start in this environment.
Here's Aaliyah Bucks out in transition. She loves to go to the cup and misses the chippy. Wakefield now has the ball, dribbles with her left hand, switches over to the right. Hands off to Dixon. Double team on her. Elliott skip pass down low. And Spurl can't get it to fall. Fitzgerald in and out like a blur, but Temple has missed a few easy ones in tight.
But for Tulsa, you have to worry about the transition. Temple is moving so fast up and down the court.
Temple shooting just 14% from the field, 1 of 7. Now there'll be a foul called, and Kendrian Elliott will get 2 free throws.
We mentioned Elliott in the open, Keith. American Conference Freshman of the Week. 17 points, 9 rebounds this past week, and a personal best 27 points against East Carolina.
And Elliott and Dixon, part of a real nice recruiting class for Tulsa's Matilda Mossman in her 6th year. Elliott's first free throw is good. Elliott was the Gatorade Player of the Year in the state of Kansas last year. Into the game comes Jessica Punganis, a senior. Both free throws good. Tulsa within 1, 6.5 to play. Opening quarter. Fitzgerald into the corner. Fountain, three-pointer. In and out. A whistle is blown, and she was fouled. She'll get 3 shots.
And Temple's had a couple of those layups, and now a three-pointer rattle in and out. Going to the free throw line here is Fountain, but Tulsa taking a deep breath that the lead is not more than 1.
Donasia Fountain coming off a career-high 26 points and 7 steals. She now has 5 points for the junior out of Roxbury, Massachusetts. Fountain's been a fun player to watch grow over the last, 2.5 seasons. From a role player, basically a transfer first, then a role player, and now turning into one of the leaders on this team as she knocks through all 3 free throws. And that allows Temple to pick up full court. Into the corner, three-pointer is good. Ebony Parker, second triple try drops.
This is a three-point shooting team, Keith. That's how they're going to stay in this game.
Yeah, they shoot almost 34% from behind the arc. Less than 6 minutes to play in the opening quarter. 9-8 Temple. Atkinson off the bounce. She is fast and she is strong.
And that's too easy for the junior from New Haven, Connecticut.
Wakefield, crossover dribble, now Elliott. Elliott loses it, stolen away by Martin. Fitzgerald, head always on a swivel. Martin skips it over to Fountain. Now Butts, little jab step. Back to Fountain. Fountain has had the hot hand. Now it's Fitzgerald. Fountain, 7 of the 11 points scored for Temple. Atkinson. Martin, offensive board, but will they call her for the foul? Yes, over the back. Her first.
Temple's going to need, or shall I say, Tulsa's going to need to win the rebounding battle. That's a department that Temple is very strong in, and Tulsa hasn't been during the year.
Crystal Polk has been a sophomore, giving Tulsa some good minutes off the bench out of Lawton, Oklahoma. Comes in for Kendrian Elliott. Wakefield looks back towards her head coach, Matilda Mossman, a Western Kentucky graduate, class of 79. Off the glass, too strong. There's Polk. Told you, she gives them good minutes off the bench. Wakefield resets.
3 to shoot.
Off the rebound, another offensive board for Polk. So immediately paying dividends. And she's calling for it down low.
Sorry, Keith. Exactly what you want from the Golden Hurricane if you're Matilda Mossman.
Gotta love that. Crystal Polk, a basket as well.
That was earned off of those multiple offensive rebounds.
You know, it's a Tulsa team that you look at the record, you say 8-15, they must not be very good, but 14 losses this season, 9 of those have been by single digits. They've been involved in every game this year. They don't get blown out.
And 3 of those they have double-digit leads in.
Yo-yo's the ball, Dixon. Hands off to Parker. She's got 2 threes already. Polk, Dixon, corner 3, back iron. Dixon now 0 for 3 from long range. Fitzgerald, scoop shot, no good. Martin, easy one. Temple up by 3. Wakefield handles the rock off the high screen. It's Panganis. 17-footer, too strong.
It's a good look.
Fitzgerald bumps. Blazing speed.
And that's the risk when you miss a perimeter jump shot like that. The long rebound off the carom, and then Temple gets to do what they do best and go in transition.
Largest lead of the day for either team. It's now 5 for Temple. Parker gets doubled, and she loses it. She implores the official on the near side, that's Norma Jones, that it had gotten tipped. She says no, 3:05 to go in the first. Temple up, 15-10. We step aside. This is the American Digital Network.
We are American. The conference of opportunity. The opportunity to chase dreams. The opportunity to make your mark and change the game. Because that's power. We are power.
Conference championship is right around the corner, taking place March 9th through the 12th at the Excel Center in Hartford, Connecticut, as all 11 American teams will compete for the automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. Tickets are priced as low as $199. Get yours today online by visiting www.excelcenter.com, in person at the Excel Center box office, or by telephone at 877-522-8499. We look forward to seeing you in March.
A temple owl. Meet Stella. She's wise, fierce, and she's not alone. Temple University, where owls call home. We are the cherry and white. The city is our classroom, and we lead the rush hour, making our mark on every field around the world. A world without Temple, well, that's like the sky without the North Star. Temple, never stop.
The house is rocking here at the Liacouras Center. Season recap for these two squads. The Golden Hurricane 8-15, 4-6 in conference play. They lost to UConn. And listen, everyone loses to UConn. A 98,
yes, nothing to be ashamed of.
98-game winning streak. UConn on the 5th, 96-50. As for Temple, 17-5, 7-2. Only losses this year against USF. And UConn coming off the 76-50 win over Tulane. First time for you seeing Temple in person. We're down here in Philadelphia. What has been your thought on how they play the game?
How fast it is. How fast their pace is. Look, there's already only 3:05 left in the first quarter. There's not a lot of fouls called, and they just move the ball so quickly off that long carom, and you have to be enormously impressed with a couple of players already, Atkinson and Fountain.
Denasia Fountain, 7 points. Atkinson with 2 off the bench. Sophia Martin has 4 points to go along with 2 boards. On the Tulsa side of things, 6 points for Ebony Parker. Both of those come from behind the arc.
And already you have to be impressed with Temple from the free throw line, 5 for 5.
It is a Temple team that, let's be honest, they are built to make the postseason. They are candid about it. They enjoy playing in the WNIT. but they do not want to be in the WNIT again. They want to be in the tournament, and if they make it, it might be because of that player right there, Fionda Fitzgerald, getting national recognition as she knocks down that shot, and she's fouled.
It's funny, Keith, beforehand we were talking, you haven't, in ways, Fitzgerald hasn't been as prominent this year because of the other players on the Temple offense, but here's someone that is averaging nearly 17 points per game.
Yeah, Fitzgerald, a little bit more than 7 assists per contest as well, and recently added to the Dawn Staley and Nancy Lieberman award list as a finalist. Means she is one of the top 10 point guards in America. Galden, her team trailing by 7. This one was tipped. A little bit more than 2.5 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Galden has Fitzgerald on her. Now it's Spurl, turnaround jumper too strong. Another weak side rebound for Polk. Puts it down low, has it knocked away, and Temple come away with the strip. In for the first time, Khadijah Berger. Here's Aaliyah Butts. Over to Fitzgerald. You could make an argument that Fitzgerald and Butts is a top 5, top 10 backcourt in America. Butts is the dynamo guard that can heat up in an instant. Fitzgerald, the pacemaker. That's going to be a carry.
That's a big carry, not because of Temple's error, but Tulsa needed to stop their quietly largest lead of the game for the Owls at 7. And with this ability that the Golden Hurricane have to shoot threes, they need to keep it just within enough range to be able to shoot some from downtown.
Tatiana Perez, a sophomore from Cypress, Texas. Offensive foul called against Tulsa. Away from the ball. Crystal Polk gets her first foul. Atkinson back in. Fountain will take a seat. Yet another reason why this Temple team has been so good is a player like Atkinson, who is a normal starter and has been willing to be the sixth man.
And averaging nearly 9 rebounds per game.
She has been dynamic for them. Foul on Fitzgerald.
And you see the competition with the amount of fouls called on the glass. It's such a big factor, especially for Tulsa to stay in this one.
Fionda Fitzgerald now in sole possession of third in all-time scoring at Temple, more than 1,600 points.
And up next, Keith, will be Candice Dupree with 1,698. So a little while to go, but she's quickly going up the record books.
Knocking on the door.
Right.
Atkinson a rebound. Fitzgerald, Butts, stops, fires. A little bit short. Rebound for Shug Dixon. Butts pokes it away and stops a little bit of a run. 60 seconds to play opening quarter. Tulsa trailing by 7. Dixon floater is short. Butts. Temple has numbers. Drop it off Fitzgerald. Triple off the backboard. Did Butts keep it alive for Temple? Looks like she did.
Tulsa's fortunate there, Keith, because Fitzgerald is quite a shooter from downtown as well. 30% and 26 on the year.
While Temple has a 7-point advantage right now, they're not shooting well. 6 of 20 from the field, that's 30%. 0 for 5 from behind the arc. Thing that's doing in Tulsa is they're just 3 for 15 shooting.
You look at it two ways. If you're Tulsa, you say we've taken their best shot and held them to a 17 points. If you're Temple, you said, hey, if we hit these shots, we should be up by double.
Shantae Taylor, a freshman from Columbia, South Carolina, comes in. Aaliyah Butts takes a seat. So Fionda Fitzgerald, only Temple player to play every single minute of this opening quarter. She rarely comes out. Donasia Fountain, Atkinson, Berger. 15 on the shot clock. Here's Fitzgerald. Fountain at the elbow. Spin move, poked away, picks it up, puts it back in. And Donasia Fountain now has 9 points.
Hold for the last shot here, kid.
Final 10 seconds, opening quarter. Wakefield. Crossover dribble. Too strong. Rebound, Elliott. It's a tie-up with 1.1 on the clock.
Possession goes to the L.
Now Temple has a chance to just do a little catch and shoot three.
They'll just let the clock run out. They lead 19-10. Does Temple. They finish off the opening quarter on an 8-0 run. This crowd of more than 2,000 students and fans are loving what they're seeing on the 15th annual school day. It's a 19-10 advantage for Temple over Tulsa. We will step aside. Keep it locked right here on the American Digital Network.
American. We are the spark that ignites. Dazzling, brilliant, intense. We are plugged in with the volume turned up all the way. Because on this court, on any given night, the energy of 5 becomes the power of 1. That's power. We are power.
We are American. The conference of opportunity. The opportunity to chase dreams. The opportunity to make your mark and change the game. Because that's power. We are power.
Conference championship is right around the corner, taking place March 9th through the 12th at the Excel Center in Hartford, Connecticut, as all 11 American teams will compete for the automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. Tickets are priced as low as $199. Get yours today online by visiting www.excelcenter.com, in person at the Excel Center box office, or by telephone at 877-522-8499. We look forward to seeing you in March.
A temple owl. Meet Stella. She's wise, fierce, and she's not alone. Temple University, where owls call home. We are the cherry and white. The city is our classroom, and we lead the rush hour, making our mark on every field around the world. A world without Temple, well, that's like the sky without the North Star. Temple, never stop.
Back here at Temple with the Owls leading 19-10. Head coach Tanya Cardoza, 9 years at the helm, 181 wins, 106 losses. Played her college ball at Virginia, a former UConn assistant, where she spent 14 seasons and won 5 national titles. As for this Temple team underneath her, they've also been good, going to the postseason 6 times.
And Tanya Cardoza was firing up these kids with some stories from her past before the game.
She's amazing. She seriously, and listen, I know I covered the American Athletic Conference the last 3 seasons, but she is one of my favorite coaches that I've had the pleasure of interviewing and getting to know. Tanya's just really one of the good ones. Wakefield, in for the first time, Tyjae Scales. Circus shot did not fall. There's a foul away from the ball.
And, Keith, when you look at the first quarter statistics, you see 2 different tales. For Tulsa, their points are focused with Parker. And for Temple, you have points there for Fountain, Martin, Fitzgerald, Butts, and Atkinson.
Here's Fitzgerald. Fountain, lots of time as Addison Richards closed out. Temple getting the possession. Now it's Berger. Atkinson skips it down low. Fountain fading away a little bit short. And Sherrill will knock it out of play. Down low for Elliott. Elliott got good space, and Sherrill blocks her away.
It's interesting, Keith. If you're Tulsa, not bad defensive effort. The 19 points have really been spread out. There was a long period of time where it was 17-10, but if you're the Golden Hurricane, you got to put some points on the board to keep it close.
Aaliyah Butts takes it across the timeline. There's Fountain, now Fitzgerald. They work the weave. Fountain open for a second. Atkinson, Butts, Fitzgerald. 9 seconds on the shot clock. And blocked away was Fitzgerald. She thought she had a little bit of a step. Wakefield in transition up to Elliott. Richards and Wakefield. Wakefield, the junior. Scales, she's a sophomore. And Wakefield buries it.
How important was that, the difference between 9 points and 6 points, even though it's just 3 points seems substantial?
It's a Tulsa team that hadn't scored since about 2 minutes left in the first quarter. And we are 2 minutes into the second quarter. Nice little pick and roll, but Sherrill called for the offensive foul. Scales takes it.
And a nice charge by Tyjae Scales. That won't show up in the box score, but in a 19-13 game, that's the difference between 2 free throws and getting the ball back and a chance to make it a 3-point difference.
And Jacob, for the first time, we see Fionda Fitzgerald take a seat. So Aaliyah Butts will run the points. Tulsa on possession. Ebony Parker's been quiet after nailing 2 3-pointers early. Rebound Berger. Aaliyah Butts. Tanea Atkinson and Fountain. Sherrill on the block, and it'll be a foul on Kendrian Elliott.
Foul number 0, Kendrian Elliott. That's the first.
And Elliott's first, she has been, we've talked about her being the freshman of the week for the American, also has 7 double-digit games this year and 3 double-doubles. 50% from the field.
Not too shabby, huh?
No. Like you back in the day.
Exactly like me. Thank you very much. I'm glad you noticed that.
Just want to make you feel good.
Thank you. Martin with the left hand, no good. And a foul as well. Let's see if this is on Butts or Martin. No, it's actually Atkinson on the weak side, so Atkinson picks up her first. 19-13 lead for Temple. We thank you for spending the afternoon with us here, right here on the American Digital Network. Wakefield gives up her dribble, looks for the back door, just hands it off for Scales. Scales again, skips it, Richards. 8 on the shot clock. Here's Scales. Wakefield, D'd up by Butts. Good defense by Temple. Butts, good hands, but called for the foul.
That was really good defense from Butts. May have been a foul at the end, but that's how you teach your team to play tight defense.
I really defy you to find a player in the nation that is quicker and faster than Aaliyah Butts. I know there are people that are probably equal to her. I'm not sure there's anyone quicker and faster than her, though.
And good at taking the ball away. It was a team leading 45 steals coming into today.
For the first time, we see Shannon Atkinson, a freshman center, checking in.
Keith, you look up, and it's a 4-point game.
Tulsa's hanging around. Neither team shooting particularly well. Tulsa under 20%, Temple at 29%. Butts tries the 3 and makes it rain.
That's her 59th 3 of the year.
Ebony Parker right back at you, but in and out. Elliott with the rebound, misses the gimme. Now it's Dixon. Second and third chance opportunities, and Tanya Cardoza is none too pleased.
And I imagine that will be the discussion that Tanya Cardoza is going to be having with her team. They're keeping Tulsa in the game by giving them those second and third opportunities, and that's potent for a team that can shoot so well from beyond the arc.
And for Tulsa, there she is, Matilda Mossman in her 6th year. 80 wins at this university, 227 overall. A team that went 12-10 last year and has stumbled a bit going 8-15 this year.
I think my favorite team would be going to the
And you look at, for Temple, the play of Denasia Fountain. And Denasia able to get the steal here, and this is how Temple operates. They move quickly down the court, able to finish. In that case, she gets her own follow. Here you're going to see a little perimeter jump inside out, and she's multifaceted. Denasia Fountain, someone to look out for throughout the game. The junior from Roxbury, Massachusetts, averaging nearly 14 per game.
And already with 9 points today. It really is such a good idea. And, you know, Jacob, you hadn't been to, I was here for the school day last year. You hadn't been to one of these. And one of your first impressions was, wow, this place is loud.
It's exactly what I told you right when we came in. You think of a baseball sort of camp day, and this is the equivalent in basketball. But these, I got here around 10 to 10. These kids were rocking already. They were doing roll call. And wow, with a simple concept, the Temple Marketing Group and Athletic Department handles it so well. And what a way to connect with the community.
15th time they have done it. And then you look at this Temple team, one of the other reasons why it's very easy to root for them. Last year, ended up with an RPI of 69, going into selection Monday, part of that first 4 out. Now you look at them, RPI of 23, and again, WNIT is not what this school wants anymore.
And they've gotten votes in the USA Today and AP polls. Obviously only a 4-point loss to South Florida, who's 22 and 23 in those 2 polls, and they seem like they're pretty optimistic about their prospects heading forward, and you want to be playing well heading into the conference tournament up in Mohegan.
Today's a game you need to take care of, too. You look at your resume, and you say, sure, Tulsa's tough, but if you're Temple, you need to win this game. And if on the flip side, you're the Golden Hurricane, I know I kind of said this top of the broadcast, but you're at the point right now where you're trying to grow your team because you're young, and let's play spoiler.
It's a statement game for them if they can pull it out.
Temple has the ball. Fitzgerald remains on the bench. Fountain, Atkinson, and Berger. Fountain, a little bit short. She's been their go-to player today.
That's the highlight package jinx when you go through the highlights of Fountain and then she misses it on that one. We'll take responsibility.
I'm putting that solely on you, Jacob Wilkins.
Yeah, fine. I'll take that one.
Jacob Wilkins. I will give you his phone number later. A 4-point lead for Temple. Tulsa trying to get back into it and cut into it. Inside of 10 on the shot clock. Dixon dead on and misses. Atkinson has it poked away. Rebound Scales.
Might as well keep shooting that. That's their best entree to stay in the game.
Wakefield looks for Dixon. Dixon in the lane. Too strong again. Fountain with the rebound. Denasia Fountain's got 5 of those. Fountain has been in full-out assassin mode today.
Well, we said in the open, Keith, that this Temple team can hurt you from many directions. Sometimes it's Fionda Fitzgerald. Sometimes it's Aaliyah Butts. Sometimes, and of late, it's been Tanea Atkinson. Fountain has been the star today, and they've needed it because the offensive shooting has not been as strong as the Owls are accustomed to.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, the thing that's impressed me about Fountain, watching her a little bit last year and then this year, is just she's tall. I mean, she's 6 foot, 6'1". You assume that she's going to be more of a post player. She loves to step outside. She has some good bounce. She's got real good touch. Just an overall solid player.
Substitution.
Back comes Fitzgerald. Berger will take a seat.
For the Owls, number 2, Fionda Fitzgerald.
If I would have told you Temple would be up by 4 and Fitzgerald and Butts would combine for 7 and be shooting 3 for 11 from the field, you'd tell me I'm crazy. But Denasia Fountain has kept Temple afloat, and afloat means a 5-point lead.
And give the Golden Hurricane credit. They have stayed consistent to what they're good at and have not deviated as we get a double dribble there.
So a turnover for Tajay Scales. The 7th turnover of the day for the Golden Hurricane. Butts, never shy. She thought about shooting that one. Hands it off to Fitzgerald. And Fionda's got her second bucket.
I'd say that was a good decision on the pass there.
I would say so. Wakefield. Beautiful feed to Elliott.
Wow, really nice shot. Not easy. She was really close to being under the basket.
Fionda Fitzgerald. Ebony Parker hanging around. Diener up. Man to man. Atkinson faces up. Bucks. Shot fake. Gets in tight. Rattles it out. And then steals it away from Elliott. It's a loose ball. It's going to be a tie-up. And Temple will have possession. Great hands by Aaliyah Bucks.
And that jumper from Bucks rattled out, but the footwork was beautiful. Especially faking out defense there and then coming in for a closer look. See this again. Nice hustle. And you bought yourself an extra possession if you're Temple as they go to the ground.
Fitzgerald will trigger. Fountain, that's too easy. Way too easy for Denasia Fountain. Denasia has been dominant.
But it's all precipitated, Keith, by the effort play that led to the possession arrow back in their favor and now gives them the 7-point lead with the foul shot coming.
Fountain with 12 points and 5 rebounds, and we still have 4 minutes and change to go in the opening half. Again, Fountain coming off a career high of 26 points just a couple of days ago. Back iron. Wakefield. Golden almost loses it. Scales has it. Looking to hand it off to somebody. Nice defense by Temple.
Very physical and unable to keep it in bounds.
Yep, turnover. Forced by that Temple hounding defense.
And we mentioned there's a Temple team that only gave up 24 points in 3 quarters, the last 3 quarters combined against Temple. I beg your pardon, against Tulane. What was an important road win for them coming off the UConn game.
Less than 4 minutes to go in second quarter. Suddenly Temple hitting their stride and getting into wonder if Tulsa's going to use a timeout soon.
It's interesting, in that Tulane game, Tulane was able to hang with them for the first quarter or so, and then Temple broke away. Are we seeing a deja vu scenario here?
Wakefield blocked away by Atkinson, and it went off of the shoulder of Wakefield.
The Tulsa number 4, Addison Richards.
Here comes Addison Richards, a freshman from Bixby, Oklahoma. And Temple will try to open up their largest lead of the day. They're up by 9 as we speak. Butts to Fitzgerald. Looking for the high screen from Atkinson. She'll get it. She'll fire. In and out. Perez with a high dribble. Elliott at the free throw line. Uses the left hand. Can't get it to fall. Fountain triggers. Here's Fitzgerald. Inside of 3 minutes. Temple will set it up.
Nice defense there by Shannon Atkinson on the other end, number 11.
Tanea to Fee. Now it's Fountain. Loses it. May have been poked away. Shot clock does not reset. They're at 7. Butts, three-pointer, dead on. That's going to be a foul on Atkinson.
That had been a dagger in the first half, relatively speaking, to make it a 12-point game. Instead, Tulsa gets the foul.
And because there are 2 Atkinsons, I do remind you that Shannon Atkinson on the personal foul. So Kendry and Elliott get a couple of free throws as Matilda Mossman will use a timeout on the Tulsa sidelines. And we'll do the same. So Tulsa trailing 29-20. They'll be headed to the free throw line. Keep it locked right here on the American Digital Network.
University of Tulsa, a top 50 private institution.
2.5 minutes to go in the opening half. Temple up 29-20. Kendrian Elliott to the charity stripe and good. Elliott, a freshman from Wichita, Kansas. Butts, Fitzgerald skips it. Tanea Atkinson hangs and drops it in.
And Temple is breaking free by shooting high quality, close to the basket shots.
Wakefield. Ebony Parker looking for some space, but Temple knows she hit 2 early triples. Not going to give her any glimmer of a hope to release one again. This will be last touch by Shannon Atkinson. I love the Liacouras Center. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I think it's a fantastic venue to watch a game. A Temple team that normally plays in McGonigal, but on days like this, where you know the crowd is coming out in droves, Liacouras is rocking.
Fantastic facility. Just about 15 years old as we get the kickball. And I was just going to say, if you're Temple, it's only a 10-point game. As much as, if you're Tulsa, it's only a 10-point game. As much as Temple is sort of broken free in the last few minutes, a 3 gets you right back in it.
Skip it over to Addison Richards. 3-pointer rattles out. Fitzgerald calls out the play. Looks like this could be for Butts. Fountain in the corner, 3-pointer.
That's just way too much time. She was wide open. No one in sight. And a defensive miscommunication there.
Fouled on the way to the cup was Erica Wakefield, so she will get 2 shots. Leah Butts, her second personal. Both of those coming here in the second quarter.
You know, Wakefield's a great player, and check out the American website if you want to see a really cool video profile of her. Her coach, Matilda Mossman, calls her unflappable, says they have total trust in her. And she talks about being level-headed. Never get too high, never get too low. And you see a lot of poise from this Temple team throughout this first half.
No good on the free throw. So scores at 34-22 in favor of Temple. 12-point advantage. 65 seconds to play in the opening half. Berger. Fountain. Fountain's the hot hand. 15 points. Fitzgerald. Berger. 3-pointer.
Berger.
And that's Berger's first 3 of the game. She's joined the party.
45 seconds. Wakefield, that could have been a carry. No call. In and out. About an 8 or 9 second differential shot and game clock. Fitzgerald. High screen from Atkinson. Berger in the corner. Khadijah, second stretch 1. She says, let me eat.
Khadijah Berger.
Khadijah Berger, back-to-back triples for the junior from Hampton, Virginia. Temple has opened up a 40-22 lead. They're on a 19-2 run. Wakefield throws it up. Rebound, Tanea Atkinson. So a 19-2 run to end the half, and Temple up 40-22. So a 40-22 advantage for Temple. And again, this is a Temple team that's looking for win number 18 on the
2017
season.
American Athletic Conference Women's Basketball Championship.
Send it over to Jacob Wilkins with head coach Tanya Cardoza.
Through the 7th at Mohegan Sun Arena. Get your tickets today to watch all 11 teams in action, fighting for an automatic berth to the NCAA tournament. Tickets start as low as $99 and can be purchased online at mohegansun.com, on Ticketmaster, or by calling 1-800-743-3000. Let the games begin. We'll see you in March.
For all the latest information on Temple Athletics, including scores, schedules, promotions, and breaking news, check out the Temple Athletics website.
Again, we scored way too many points in that first quarter. We got to do a better job of that.
Good luck in the second half, Coach.
Thank you.
Keith, back to you.
All right, so we will step aside. A 40-22 advantage for Temple. Stick with us. It's American Athletic Conference Women's Basketball on the American Digital Network.
And that was a look at some moves on the hardwood that we aren't as used to seeing, led by SMU stars Shake Milton and Jeray Foster. And the Mustangs hope to do a lot more dancing as the season rolls on deep into March. I'm Haley Outen. Thanks for tuning in to an all-new episode of The Rise. It was a busy week on the hardwood in American hoops as Cincinnati and SMU both went 2-0 to help set the stage for a massive matchup at Moody on Sunday. Cincinnati won games at Tulsa and versus UConn, with Troy Copane saving the Bearcats down the stretch in Tulsa, scoring 5 points in the final 38 seconds, including the go-ahead basket with 4.4 seconds to play. On Saturday, Kyle Washington's career-high 27 points and Gary Clark's double-double lifted Cincinnati to its 22nd straight win at Fifth Third Arena. For their efforts, the Bearcats climbed to number 11 in the AP and USA Today coaches polls. In Dallas, SMU re-emerged into the top 25 after a 2-0 week against East Carolina and Tulsa. With a career-high 27 points at Tulsa, senior Sterling Brown earned American Player of the Week accolades for the first time in his career. The senior averaged 21 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists on the week, opening with a 15-point, 9-rebound effort against the Pirates. At Tulsa, Brown went 9 of 15 from the floor as SMU improved to 10-1 in the American. The win was Brown's 99th with SMU, extending his program record one better than teammate Ben Moore. Entering the week, SMU sits one half game behind Cincinnati in the American standings as the teams have combined to go 31-2 since December 1st. The Mustangs' lone loss in that span came in a 2-point defeat at Cincinnati on January 12th, a game in which Gary Clark's 18 points led the Bearcats. Before the teams meet on Sunday, they will both have stiff midweek tests. Cincinnati will look to extend its winning streak at home to 23 games on Wednesday when Taco Fall, Matt Williams, and B.J. Taylor lead UCF into Fifth Third Arena. Williams is 8 three-pointers from tying the American single-season record, while Fall is still on pace to break the NCAA field goal percentage record. On Thursday, SMU will travel to Philadelphia, where Temple awaits. The Owls have won 2 straight games behind a balanced attack. 4 players were in double figures in the Owls' win at Temple, while all 5 starters had 10 or more points on Sunday against USF. With teams in 3rd through 7th sitting within 1.5 games, it should be another frantic and fun week in American hoops. Over on the women's side, the conference received a pair of national accolades this week as UConn and Temple players were cited for major awards. Temple senior Fayonda Fitzgerald was named one of 10 finalists for the Nancy Lieberman Award, given to the nation's top collegiate point guard by the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame. Fitzgerald is in the midst of her best season yet in Philadelphia. She is averaging over 16 points and over 7 assists per game, with her assist number ranking 8th in the nation. The guard has helped lead Temple to a 17-5 overall record, including 7-2 in American Conference play. The Owls are receiving votes in both national polls. UConn junior Gabby Williams and sophomores Nafisa Collier and Katie Lou Samuelson were added to the Wade watch list of candidates for the 2017 Wade Trophy, as announced by the WBCA Selection Committee on Monday. Williams, Collier, and Samuelson joined junior Kia Nurse, who was named to the Wade watch list back in December. Those 4 Huskies stand atop UConn's current leaderboard, all averaging double-figure point totals. The Wade Trophy, now in its 40th year, is the oldest and most prestigious National Player of the Year award in women's college basketball. Speaking of Collier, she earned Player of the Week honors yet again this season after shooting an impressive 82% from the floor during a 2-0 week for top-ranked UConn. Tulsa forward Kendrian Elliott was named the Freshman of the Week for the 2nd time this season, as Tulsa split a pair of games against East Carolina and UConn. Elliott opened the week with a personal best 27 points and earned her third double-double with 13 rebounds in last Tuesday's win over the Pirates. And over to football, where the country witnessed one of the most impressive comebacks in Super Bowl history as the New England Patriots were victorious in Houston on Sunday night against the Atlanta Falcons. And the member schools of the American Athletic Conference played a small part. The Patriots practiced at the University of Houston in the week leading up to the game, which was a nice homecoming for linebacker Landon Roberts, who was a first-team American Athletic Conference selection in 2015 with the Cougars and a key part of Houston's Peach Bowl championship team. Roberts had 2 tackles in the Super Bowl, becoming the 3rd player to have played in the American to earn a Super Bowl ring. He joins former Tulane defensive backs Lorenzo Doss and Torian Nixon, who were members of the Denver Broncos' 2015 Super Bowl team. Patriots kicker Steven Gostkowski, who played collegiately at Memphis, had 2 field goals as New England mounted its comeback, and former Navy center Joe Cardona contributed as the Patriots' long snapper on 7 plays. For Atlanta, former East Carolina wide receiver Justin Hardy had 17 yards on 2 kickoff returns against the Patriots and was involved in 26 plays on offense and special teams. Wide receiver Aldrick Robinson, formerly of SMU, was involved in 10 offensive plays. Congratulations again to the 2017 Super Bowl champion New England Patriots. Over to softball, where it's hard to believe it's already that time. The season gets underway this week with all 7 American teams in action. USF, who is ranked in both major polls to start the season, opens their spring campaign at home on Thursday, hosting the USF Wilson DeMarini Classic. USF outfielder Julie Weber was named to the top 50 watch list for the 2017 USA Softball Collegiate Player of the Year Award. Weber, the 2016 American Conference Player of the Year, led the team and league with a .406 average over 61 games last season. UCF and Tulsa are receiving votes in the national polls heading into opening week. The Hurricane will celebrate their 25th season of softball this year. Last March, Tulsa won its 700th career game and went on to capture the school's 10th conference championship while making its 8th NCAA postseason appearance. Thanks for tuning in to Halftime here on the American Digital Network. Enjoy the rest of the game.
Wakefield turns it into 2, and Tulsa back up by 8.
Wakefield seems to have the ability to understand time and the presence and what needs to be done.
My game on the courts, I'm very humble, so I feel like my game on the court is just, just leveled, try not to show too many emotions. Something bad happens, just try to get everyone together, get them back on the same page. If it's going the right way or the wrong way, just try to, stay level-headed. With my size, it's kind of a position that I have to play. But, I just love, the leadership role. I love how everyone, on my team has a lot of trust in me. And, I use that in my game to try to, lead by example, do the right things, because I know there are people following me.
Well, I think the main reason she's important to the team is because she wants to be at the University of Tulsa. I tell the story all the time about when I called her to make the offer. She called me back in 5 minutes and said yes. It was a matter of contacting both her parents, and they were all in agreement, all on board. So to me, that's huge. The second thing is Erica's such a great leader. She's very mature. She's unflappable. You don't know if she's having a good game or a bad game. She's very consistent. The people on the floor trust her. As a coaching staff, we trust her to run our team. And to me, having somebody that you trust out on the floor makes all the difference in the world.
You always have to put school first because, you are a student first and then an athlete next. But, I try to just balance them out. If I get overwhelmed with school, try to go to the gym, get up some shots. If I'm getting overwhelmed with basketball, try to go, put my head in a book or something. My role model would definitely have to be my mom. She's just always hardworking, even as a young child. Me and my brother, we were the only 2 kids. She was a single mom. And, we were never told no. She always worked hard to get us whatever we wanted. And so it's just great, being an adult, seeing that in her now. And we're just we're kind of best friends, talk every day. She's just great.
We are American. The conference of opportunity. The opportunity to chase dreams. The opportunity to make your mark and change the game. Because that's power. We are power.
Conference championship is right around the corner, taking place March 9th through the 12th at the Excel Center in Hartford, Connecticut, as all 11 American teams will compete for the automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. Tickets are priced as low as $199. Get yours today online by visiting www.excelcenter.com, in person at the Excel Center box office, or by telephone at 877-522-8499. We look forward to seeing you in March.
A temple owl. Meet Stella. She's wise, fierce, and she's not alone. Temple University, where owls call home. We are the cherry and white. The city is our classroom, and we lead the rush hour, making our mark on every field around the world. A world without Temple, well, that's like the sky without the North Star. Temple, never stop it.
University of Tulsa, a top 50 private institution.
Packages for the American Athletic Conference Women's Basketball Championship are now on sale. Head to Mohegan Sun Arena March 3rd through the 6th to watch all 11 American teams in action, fighting for an automatic berth to the NCAA tournament. Tickets start as low as $99. Get yours today by visiting the Mohegan Sun Arena box office, going online to mohegansun.com or on Ticketmaster, and also available by phone at 1-800-745-3000. Let the games begin. We'll see you in March.
A temple owl. Meet Stella. She's wise, fierce, and she's not alone. Temple University, where owls call home. We are the cherry and white. The city is our classroom, and we lead the rush hour, making our mark on every field around the world. A world without Temple, well, that's like the sky without the North Star. Temple, never stop.
Coach, what did you tell your team during the half?
Well, we just have to shoot the ball. I mean, we had 2 quarters we shot very poorly. Temple shot poorly in the first quarter. They turned it up in the second quarter. We didn't turn it up. So we just have to be patient and not take hurried shots so that we can shoot a better percentage.
How do you stop Fountain?
How do you stop any of them? I think their second quarter, they hit from 3, they hit layups. They're really feeling it right now.
Good luck in the second half, Coach.
Thank you.
Back to you, Keith.
All right, Jacob, good stuff with head coach Matilda Mossman in her 6th year as her Tulsa Golden Hurricane are trailing 40-22. And Temple would end the first half on a 19-2 run. It has been a raucous crowd, as we would have expected. Let's take you through some of the numbers for the home squad. Temple is led by Donasia Fountain, 5 of 10 shooting, 15 points, 8 rebounds. Other scorers include Fiona Fitzgerald, 6. Khadijah Berger with 6 as well. Aaliyah Butts has 5. Tanea Atkinson has 4 on the Tulsa side. Only 4 players have scored. Wakefield and Parker with 6. Dixon has 3. And Elliott has 5.
Keith, I thought Matilda Mossman's answer was a good one when I asked how to stop Fountain, because there are, if you stop Fountain, then you may open up opportunities for Butts or Fitzgerald. So really, it's going to be a team effort in terms of how they're going to play this defensively in the second half.
Yeah, listen, you play against a team like Temple, it's pick your poison. They've got a lot of really good offensive players. Blocked away by Martin. Martin is the player that leads the team in blocks. Then a foul called on the floor.
Foul number 35, Sophia Martin.
So Martin gets called for the push, her second personal.
Substitution for the Owls.
And Tanya Cardoza with a quick hook. And Shantae Taylor will re-enter the game.
You know Coach better than I do, Keith, but I get the sense there's no tolerance for sloppiness from Coach.
Not at all. She is of the Gino Auriemma tree, so you would expect that she expects nothing but excellence. Here's Fitzgerald. Poked away from Taylor, back to Fitzgerald. Sherrill and Butts. Fountain, remind you, leads all scorers 15 points. She wants it back from Fitzgerald. 7 on the shot clock. Fionda, full bulldog mode, and puts it in.
She was sort of off balance there. That was a tough shot.
Shug Dixon and Spurl. This was a 3-4 point game for most of the first half, and it was Temple just got out on a run, started shooting the ball a little bit better, started taking care of the ball a little bit better. Next thing you know, you look up and it's a 20-point game.
And we saw early on, Temple was getting the looks. They just weren't hitting the shots. They kept on getting the looks later in the second quarter and hit the shots.
Fionda Fitzgerald. Donasia Fountain, three-pointer off the mark. Rebound for Elliott. Wakefield in transition. Now it's Dixon. Dixon, shot fake. Now she'll pull up and too strong. Spurl the board. Dixon again, hard to the cup, and she is fouled. Dixon now with 5 points on the day.
Dixon's been in double digits 9 times this year. We saw her at a nice 3 in the first half, but otherwise was pretty quiet.
Dixon at the line, shooting 1.
And Dixon has had some good runs this year. She misses that free throw. Became the first freshman in school history to score 20 or more points in 3 consecutive games.
Only the 6th player overall to do that in Tulsa history.
That's her first team. First.
2 shots coming up.
Number 2, Fionda Fitzgerald.
Continue on Dixon, Keith. 21.6 rebounds she had against Temple when Tulsa played them down in Oklahoma. And we talked about nice facilities. The facility they have down there, pretty impressive too.
Fitzgerald free throw good.
Reynolds center.
Go through a few things for Fitzgerald, 4 consecutive double-doubles. All-time leader in assists in program history. 6th in D1 in assists per game. And again, reiterate, she's on a couple of top point guard lists, the Staley and Lieberman lists. Spurl leads 20. Dixon, nowhere to go. Stolen away. Fitzgerald, great outlet pass. Aaliyah Butts, and the layup is good.
Fitzgerald, we saw her shooting. Then she has the outlet pass, and Butts alertly down the court to make it easy.
22-point advantage. Fitzgerald almost with the thievery. Rebound down low. Donasia Fountain now 1 board away from a double-double. Temple turns it over. Fountain digs in against Dixon. Spurl in the corner. 15 on the shot clock. Spurl, Elliott, shot fake, thought about it, too strong. Now Dixon off the bounce, and she shuffled the feet.
And with that being the 9th turnover of the game for the Golden Hurricane, overall, that will be their 12th on the day. And that was one of our keys to the game, that Tulsa had to reduce their turnovers. Throw out the 23 against UConn. UConn can force a lot of people into bad plays, but 20 against Temple earlier in the year.
So, Jacob, I love to, kind of dissect stats. And you watch this game and you see Fionda Fitzgerald, and probably your first thought would be she's not having a typical Fionda Fitzgerald, star type of afternoon. 10 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds, and Aaliyah Butts then buries a 3 to give her 10 points of the day.
Well, it's Butts' fault for overshadowing Fitzgerald. I mean, there's too much success here on the offense.
So now you've got 3 players in double digits in Fountain, Fitzgerald, and Butts for Temple. Wakefield, the 3 is good. Her second triple of the day.
I'll tell you, I like a lot of these Tulsa players. Elliott, Wakefield, young team, great experience for them to play in an environment like this and to face a team that is really at the top of this conference.
Sherelle, the jumper, no good. I'll agree with you on that one. I think this Tulsa team has been competitive this year. I could see them taking a major leap next year, depending on what their recruiting class looks like. 2 years, when these freshmen are juniors, watch out. Wakefield poked away by Butts, but she reached down, so she picks up her third personal.
Wakefield also talking about in the piece on the American website how she looks up to her mother, who, as a single mom, was one to never say no to her brother and taught her the work ethic that she has. And talked about the balance as well of when she feels overloaded with basketball, she'll focus on the academics. When she needs a break from schoolwork, she'll go to the gym. Doesn't matter what time of day it is.
And Wakefield hits them both. She'll take a seat. Alexis Golden will check back in. The freshman from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. A little bit more than 5.5 minutes to go in the third. Fitzgerald, Berger. See if Tanae Atkinson can get it going. She's one of the foursome on this Temple team that is normally in double digits. Has not really found her stroke today with just 4 points.
Yeah, that's the foursome, Keith, that's averaging double digits per year. Fitzgerald, Butts, Fountain, and Atkinson. And if you can think of a creative acronym by the end of the day, maybe there could be a reward for you.
Cheesesteaks down the street. 5 minutes to go. I have been known to win some bets with my color commentators.
I heard that.
Yes.
It sounds manipulative, though, on your part, since you're always winning them.
Listen, I'm a winner, just like this Temple team right now.
Scott Green said. Fair set.
Hey, count it! Tanae Atkinson is fouled by Spurl, the English, and it rolls in. And that'll bring us to immediate timeout. As Atkinson, how about that dynamic, acrobatic shot? Temple up 51-29 and in cruise control. We step aside on the American Digital Network.
American. We are the spark that ignites. Dazzling, brilliant, intense. We are plugged in with the volume turned up all the way. Because on this court, on any given night, the energy of 5 becomes the power of 1. That's power. We are power.
We are American. The conference of opportunity. The opportunity to chase dreams. The opportunity to make your mark and change the game. Because that's power. We are power.
Conference championship is right around the corner, taking place March 9th through the 12th at the Excel Center in Hartford, Connecticut, as all 11 American teams will compete for the automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. Tickets are priced as low as $199. Get yours today online by visiting www.excelcenter.com, in person at the Excel Center box office, or by telephone at 877-522-8499. We look forward to seeing you in March.
Basketball team returns home next Wednesday.
So the honor roll members for the American Athletic Conference this week, there's Tanea Atkinson averaging 20 points and 10 boards in back-to-back double-doubles this week. Shot 53% in both of those games. Obviously one of the leaders for Temple as they continue to roll. Another member of the honor roll this week, Bree Elmore, 17 points, 6 boards, and 6 helpers in a victory over number 20 USF. So some big-time players, some big-time numbers this week for these members of the American Athletic Conference.
And Keith, we were talking before the game that Memphis is always such a tough place to play, and that's why you see a team like South Florida get picked off there. No team really wants to travel down there, big home court advantage.
And you know what? You look at this American Athletic Conference right now, very conceivably, 3, possibly even 4 teams could get into the NCAA tournament. Atkinson finishes off the three-point play.
And by the way, just to talk about that play we saw going into break, some plays look even better on replay. When I saw it live, I was off. It was on the far side, so we didn't see her falling down. I mean, that was incredible.
Tanea Atkinson is one heck of an athlete. Parker misses. Fitzgerald with the rebound, had it poked away. Going to be a foul on either Spurl or Scales. They both reached in. It is Spurl. So Fionda Fitzgerald does get credited with the rebound. 10 points, 7 boards, 7 assists now. Fountain back in the game. Fountain yet to score in the second half. All 15 of her points came in the first. Look at the speed by Fionda Fitzgerald. That's a future professional right there.
But the way the plays are designed, and credit to Tanya Cardoza, it's just so easy, the lane that's set up.
Tulsa, Dixon, now Parker. And stolen away by Temple. Berger, Fionda Fitzgerald, back over to Khadijah. Now, Temple, not typically a slow-down team, but got a lead like this, you can slow the pace a bit, and suddenly Tanea Atkinson is catching some flames as well. She's got 9.
I don't think anything's slowing Tanea down right now.
8 assists now for Fitzgerald. Dixon. The rim has been unkind for Shug Dixon today. Now 2 of 13 shooting. Wow. Okay now. Okay, Denasia Fountain, we see you.
On the reversal, and again at an impossible angle.
Some players have a knack for just being able to kind of throw the ball up and it goes in.
And you see here, backs up, goes the other way, and finds it.
Well, Jacob, that's a shot you play in horse. You
Yes.
say, all right, I'm going to go over my shoulder, backwards, off the backboard, and good.
And usually I don't make it.
I mean, you've made it at least once in your life. Making shots at Temple. They've opened up a 29-point lead third quarter. 2 minutes and change to go. We'll step aside. Keep it locked right here. And only here on the American Digital Network.
It's a Temple owl. Meet Stella. She's wise, fierce, and she's not alone. Temple University, where owls call home. We are the cherry and white. The city is our classroom, and we lead the rush hour, making our mark on every field around the world. A world without Temple, well, that's like the sky without the North Star. Temple, never stop.
Back here at the Leocora Center, there's Lapisha Collier. What a week it was for the sophomore. Almost 25 points per game. Just a shade under 10 rebounds per contest. Jacob, she shot 22 of 27 in a 2-0 week for UConn. This Huskies team, and I've been doing this on my radio show as well. We talked about this. When you talk about this UConn team and where they stand in the pantheon of not just women's basketball, but when you talk about them, UCLA men's basketball, 88 wins in a row. You talk about the Lakers with their 33 wins in a row. You can talk about, right now, the Miami Heat have won 11 games in a row. None of that really equates to what this UConn team is doing.
Well, and look at the Golden State Warriors last year, but usually you'll see a team have to fight through a couple of close games. For UConn, every game they are in control handily, and it's highlighted by a player like Collier who's shooting 82% from the floor over those two games.
A 9-0 run for Temple in less than 2 minutes of play. Coming out of the timeout, Ashley Hughes in the game for Tulsa. I believe it's the first time we are seeing her. Yes, it is. Give kudos to both of these athletic offices, Stephanie Hall, Tulsa, and Lauren Ferret, the Associate Director for Athletic Communications for Temple. Both fantastic at their jobs, helping us out all week long, getting us information and acclimated with both of these teams. Your last touch by Tulsa, so Temple will take over. So here's a question for you, Jacob Wilkins. You've got a pretty large crowd here. You're up by 29 points. You think the crowd stays raucous, or do they, start slowing down their pace?
These kids can dance, and they want to keep on dancing. I don't see any stop in sight. And you've got, as our cameras are picking it up on that last shot, where there are faces of certain Temple players, and so they're already getting creative.
I like it.
At a young age, they're being taught well.
I like that you immediately go to the dancing part, not the cheering. Good job. Good job by you.
I'm a dancer at heart.
I know you are. I know. You cut a rug. Here's Hughes.
Usually from tripping.
Self-deprecation from Jacob Wilkins. 2 minutes to go in the third. 29-point advantage for Temple. Berger keeps it alive to herself. Fitzgerald off and running. Trying to tiptoe the end line, and she is pushed out of play.
Foul number 10, Alexis Goldman, that's her third. Team foul number 4.
So again, Denasia Fountain, 1 rebound away from a double-double. Fiona Fitzgerald is now 2 assists and 3 rebounds from a triple-double.
Some gaudy statistics quickly compiling here.
Fitzgerald retreats, surveys the land. Atkinson, trouble with the handle, skip past Fountain. 10 on the shot clock, 3-pointer a little bit short. Rebound, Atkinson. Back up top, Fitzgerald.
And now smartly taking up time, and we've seen Temple be much more solid on the boards as their lead expanded.
Reynolds has entered the game for Temple. A little bit short for Fitzgerald as Shannon Atkinson gets knocked down to the hardwood. Richards. Another rebound for Fitzgerald. It's board number 8. Oh, today Atkinson would like to have that one back.
It was a nice pass from Fitzgerald.
It was. Tulsa looks a little bit out of sorts right now. Forcing things, looking up at the scoreboard. You realize you're down by 29. Got to keep with the game plan still.
Yeah, these are tough moments in the game because if you're Tulsa, it's like, as you said, Keith, you want to get those 29 points back right at the start on 1-3. And in reality, realistically, you say, hey, can we cut it to 20? Can we cut it to 15?
Right, you set little goals for yourself. Yep. Shannon Atkinson jab fake, the lefty hook, no good. Ball is loose, and Scales will rip it away. Shot clock has been turned off. Stolen away by Fountain. Fountain crossover dribble. Little razzle-dazzle poked away by Hughes.
And most importantly, if you're Tulsa, you start by maintaining your defensive integrity and protecting the ball. As you see, coming in here. Atkinson had it poked away. Or I beg your pardon, Fountain, who has actually been held in check in the second half.
Yep, just 2 points in the second half. A follow-up is good for Shannon Atkinson, and that'll end the third quarter. And it was a dominant quarter for Temple. They outscored Tulsa 20-7, holding the Golden Hurricanes just 7 points in the third, leading 60-29. Temple is rolling along on their 15th annual school day. It's the American Digital Network, and we will be right back.
University of Tulsa, a top 50 private institution.
Ticket packages for the American Athletic Conference Women's Basketball Championship are now on sale. Head to Mohegan Sun Arena March 3rd through the 6th to watch all 11 American teams in action, fighting for an automatic berth to the NCAA tournament. Tickets start as low as $99. Get yours today by visiting the Mohegan Sun Arena box office, going online to mohegansun.com or on Ticketmaster, and also available by phone at 1-800-745-3000. Let the games begin. We'll see you in March.
A look into the huddle of Tulsa. Matilda Mossman in her 6th year as the head coach. What a ride it's been for Matilda when she took over as the team that was in the Conference USA. It was a team that had won 5 games. In her 2nd year, they win a conference championship and advance to the NCAA tournament. She has definitely gotten this Golden Hurricane squad back on the map. Now, yes, statistically you look and you say they're 8-15 this year. It's a down season. But we have both hit on this during this broadcast. They have been really close in a lot of those losses.
Close, play hard, young talent, and just to highlight Matilda Mossman, she is such a veteran in the coaching profession. Head coach at Arkansas at age 24, then at Kansas State for 5 years, and an assistant at Illinois State. Nice little walk there on Taylor.
So, Jacob, I want to talk some stats here with you. Fionda Fitzgerald right now has 12 points, 8 boards, and 8 assists. We are efforting right now, and our whole Temple crew here is doing the same, right? We're trying to figure out if there's been a triple-double in Temple history. As of right now, the Athletic Communications Department, they've gone through the files. They cannot find a single player on the women's side that has had a triple-double. So, obviously, you know, assists weren't always get rebounds right. You go back really, really far. Sometimes you don't get all the stats correct.
Yeah.
But we can safely say over the last 20 years, no women's basketball player has had a triple-double.
Which is flabbergasting. I would think with this arsenal of players that they would have had one in the last 3 weeks.
Yep, not a lot of Russell Westbrooks, I guess you could say, that have come through.
He spoils us, doesn't he?
He does. He's going to do it or no? He's going to average it for the season? What do you think?
At this rate, sure.
Yeah, I think so, too. Wakefield will trigger underneath the basket. Hughes, back iron. Nice box out by Taylor. Butts. Over to Reynolds. Reynolds off the bounce. Going to be an offensive foul on her.
And for both teams, you're still teaching. Forget about the score as we see the charge here. And again, really nice defense from Pongonis, who transferred to Tulsa from St. Joseph's mid-semester, so she's familiar with this area. From Fishers, Indiana, senior forward.
Basket for Kendrian Elliott. Let's see what the call is away from the ball.
Fouls on number 22, Jessica Pongonis.
So Pongonis picks up a foul.
Substitution.
And when we talked earlier, Keith, we said Tulsa had to hit threes because that's their game. Well, they're only 5 for 18 on the afternoon, and Tulsa, their game getting to the paint, is outscoring, Temple's outscoring Tulsa 28-8, and points off turnovers. Talked about that, 19-2.
Rebound, Butts then keeps it alive. What a play. Good hustle.
So alert.
Had a chance at the American Athletic Conference Media Day to spend some time with Aaliyah Butts. Just a real treat to be around. Very intense, very focused, and a quiet, almost sarcastic sense of humor that was solid. You know, she's very unassuming at times off the court. And on the court, she's demonstrative. I mean, she's just a dominator.
Well, the fact that she was so pleasant around you, I mean, you're no treat.
That's a valid point. Here's Aaliyah Butts over to Fitzgerald, who just picked up rebound number 9. So she is now 1 rebound and 2 assists away from what may be the first triple-double in women's history at Temple.
And we've already had Fionda Fitzgerald move into exclusively third all-time in scoring. And, of course, earlier last month, January 11th, her 508th assist surpassed Donna Kennedy for most all-time. And that was a record that held since the early 80s.
Fitzgerald and fouled.
Fouls number 0, Kendrian Elliott. That's her second. Team third.
Fitzgerald with just a hard charge towards the rim.
Shooting 2.
Knew she'd be amongst the trees. Took the contact, and she'll get 2 freebies. Free throw is good. Fitzgerald's second one will go up and is true as well. Long-range shot from Wakefield. Shannon Atkinson will allow it to skirt out of bounds, and you get the team rebound there.
And if you're Matilda Mossman, you're telling your team that this is an opportunity for them to show what they have for future playing time. That's how you always have to look at it. Not that you want to look at the game from an individual perspective, but to keep yourself motivated when the game is pretty much in hand.
No, I think you're right on that. I think that's a really good point. Aaliyah Butts over to Fitzgerald. Manasia Bolduck has checked in for the first time.
And the same applies for Temple, a player like Bolduck able to show this. You never know when a player might get injured in a crucial spot, and a player like Bolduck might have to come up big.
Oh, how about that? Manasia Bolduck threw it up, and it's good.
The fortuitous shot.
That goes to show you, if you're Temple, it's your day. No business with that shot going in. Up 66-31 now. Nice defense by Shante. Fitzgerald, Reynolds, no good. That's going to be a holding foul on Jessica Punganis. That's her second.
Foul number 22, Jessica Roman. That's her third. Team 4. Substitution.
Every school, team, however you want to decide it, they do it differently as we see the hold foul. If you were a betting man, you think Temple knows, you think the coaching staff knows that Fitzgerald is 1 rebound and 2 assists shy?
One member may know. I don't think Tanya Cardoza knows. I don't think she would coach that way.
I agree with you.
You know, the person that's in charge of the numbers, everyone divvies up responsibilities differently. Yep. But if you're that coach, you got to be with blinders on. And I don't think she wants her players thinking about that.
I wouldn't think so. I mean, you could actually blame some of that on us as we've brought it up, and now I know that the athletic communication department is at least on top of that. So,
and that's our job. So we can do that. But
correct.
When you're on the floor, it doesn't matter what the score is. You've got to remain consistent.
Butts, 3-pointer, no good. So we have official confirmation that there's never been a triple-double Temple women's basketball. And a turnover for Tulsa. I'm not so sure now that I look at it if she's going to do it today. You're up by 35 points. She's going to the bench right now. Fitzgerald's day could actually be done now. I'm not sure it's a necessity for her to play anymore. Again, bigger fish to fry in the season for Temple. You're not thinking, oh, let's make some history today and get a triple-double and let's win by 40 or 45. No, you're thinking we want to make a run in the tournament. We want to maybe win the American Athletic Conference or be in a championship game against UConn.
Well, look at how competitive, Keith. The score gets lost in it, but how competitive this American Conference is. I mean, as you said, 4 teams that could go to the tournament: UConn, USF, Temple, Tulane. And then as the 3 goes in, you've got a team like Cincinnati at 5-5 and 3 teams, and SMU, Memphis, and Tulsa at 4 and 6 that could make noise in a conference tournament.
And the American, if you're talking about the RPI, so UConn is number 1 in RPI. Temple, they're 23rd. We mentioned that already today. South Florida is 27th, even though they're ranked either 22nd or 23rd, depending on which poll you look at. Deja Reynolds misses the pull-up jumper. And then it's Tulane. Tulane's 38th in RPI. They're that 4th team that can make the tournament.
And the RPI of Temple, as you mentioned, so dramatically improved this year, and that's something that a committee's going to notice.
A 9-0 run for Temple as they continue to extend their lead. 4:48 on the clock. You know where you're at. It's the American Digital Network. We'll be right back.
Ticket packages for the American Athletic Conference Women's Basketball Championship are now on sale. Head to Mohegan Sun Arena March 3rd through the 6th to watch all 11 American teams in action, fighting for an automatic berth to the NCAA tournament. Tickets start as low as $99. Get yours today by visiting the Mohegan Sun Arena box office, going online to mohegansun.com or on Ticketmaster, and also available by phone at 1-800-745-3000. Let the games begin. We'll see you in March.
All right, so the honor roll continues in the American Athletic Conference. A career-high 15 points from Morgan Bolton from SMU, went 5 of 6 shooting from three-point range, and a really good win over Memphis. Bolton not the only weekly honor roll member for the American Athletic Conference. We also have Maria Jesperson from USF, 23 points and 10 boards in 2 games. Now, USF did lose one of those games, so they go 1-1 on the week. But not too shabby when you're Jesperson as a junior and can score 46 points and grab 20 rebounds in the span of 2 games. All right, so here we go, Jacob. I asked her here. Yeah, the kids aren't going anywhere. As long as they're here, kids are staying. All right, so I referenced what to do with Fiona Fitzgerald. Yeah. Would her day be done? She went out for a minute. Now it's 4:48. She's back in the game.
They heard you.
Maybe.
You messaged over during that commercial break what you wanted to see.
I don't think it works that way, but hey, you never know. Fitzgerald, the takeaway. Fionda, Berger, 3, too strong. Khadijah Berger has quietly had a nice afternoon with 9 points.
And I think, by the way, Keith, Berger's 2 threes at the end of that first half, huge momentum swing.
I'd agree with you on that, yeah.
Not that Temple wasn't starting to extend their lead, but that just sort of put an authoritative exclamation point that we have found our rhythm, and they've never looked back since then.
Fitzgerald gets it back from Berger. Berger down low. Taylor, Fitzgerald, Berger, 3.
Berger, a junior from Hampton, Virginia. And this Temple team, you've got players from New Jersey, Virginia. Takora McIntyre, a freshman from Boston, New York, and Sophia Martin from Fayetteville, Georgia. So Tanya Cardozo goes all over.
All right, so I'm gonna guess here. I think the coaching staff knew. And this is why I tell you. Tanya Cardoza and Vini were both laughing after Berger missed their last 2 shots, like chuckling a little bit. And as Fitzgerald went to the bench, I think they knew she needed 2 assists. I think she did.
They've been informed.
Team foul number 5. The line is number 23.
I think so. Free throw no good for Deja.
And not to be lost in Fitzgerald's attempted history is Denasia Fountain's 17 points and 15 coming in the first half.
70-31 in favor of Temple. Skip pass over to the far side. First time we're seeing Jasmine Butler. We'll get a chance to see some of the backups that don't normally play. Jasmine Butler, a freshman from Pearland, Texas, a guard.
And I think one of the really fun things in college hoops, men's, women's, is that you don't see maybe in the pros is when a backup comes in for the first time, maybe all season, able to score a point, the genuine thrill of his or her teammates just sends, sort of chills down your spine.
You could talk about all the, monetary aspects of collegiate sports now. It's, multi-million-dollar business, you could say, but just the purity of it, you're right. There is still a purity of men's and women's sports. Sometimes you have to dig deep for it, but there's still that purity.
Well, the kids in attendance are, they are just purely loving the action and loving Temple's performance. Is a 3 from Tulsa.
Perez, the sophomore, first basket of the day.
And how about, Mr. Irizarry, the unseasonably warm weather here in Philadelphia today?
I will tell you this. Seemingly every time I'm down in Philadelphia, it's warmer than it's supposed to be. Today, temperatures were hitting about 62 when we were here against ECU in January. It should have been cold, right? 57 degrees that day.
And
I'm just saying.
It snow at night, but to go from the 30s just to 60 for the day you came here.
Yeah, probably going to get a snowstorm tomorrow. But, I'll take this 60-some-odd degree weather, maybe open the windows on the drive home.
These kids can go to the playground after in this weather. Shoot some hoops themselves.
George, one of the guys who works on the athletic, communication side of things, and with the team, he's sitting next to us. George is going to take his bike out for a ride. Said he's going to wear shorts and a tank top.
I bet George can play some ball.
I think George is better at volleyball than basketball.
I see. Okay.
Basket good for Addison Richards. Another stat for you on Temple. Currently only 5 turnovers today. That would be 3 less than their season low, which was 8. And that was against DePaul.
And for Temple, their strong home and away. They'll go to 9-2 at home. 18-5 overall. And 8-2 in conference. And Tulsa will return home after this tough 2-game swing through Storrs and now Philadelphia. They're playing.
This is not an easy stretch.
No.
I do want to give more love to the athletic department. Ed LaFerge, one of the students here, does a fantastic job. Also a very good broadcaster. And I now know George's last name, and I actually feel bad about this, knowing the guy for 2-3 years. George Fisher is his last name. And Fisher, George Fisher, has done a fantastic job helping us out with some stats today as well. Guy always gets me water, too. And that is key. He always, every time I'm here, he says, Keith, you need some water? And I said, you're my man. You're my man, George.
See, George, you're so valued here
He
as a member of the
spoils me.
broadcast team.
Yeah. One of my favorite places to broadcast a game is here at
Because of
Temple.
the water?
I mean, it helps.
Oh, okay.
No, great facilities. Excellent coaching staff, excellent communications department as well.
Temple, by the way, on the road on Saturday facing East Carolina. Then we'll be back here next Wednesday for a game against SMU. And then the tough two-game stretch that takes them through South Florida and UConn. 3 of their last 4 games are away from McMonagle Hall / the Liacouras Center.
Knocked around, it's loose as we go inside of 60 seconds. And the basket is good for Tatiana Perez, who has closed out this fourth quarter with 7 points. Three-pointer, no good. McIntyre with the weak side rebound. Skip pass, stolen away, and shot clock, game clock, 3.5 seconds apart. Tatiana Perez. Okay there, sophomore. Not a bad ending to the game for her. Post-game, we will have our star players of the day. We will recap this one. I'll take you through all the stats you need to know. And we'll look at this big win for Temple and a difficult loss for Tulsa. So Temple scores only 10 points in the fourth quarter and still wins 70-43. They pick up win number 18 on the season, move to 18-5, 8-2 in conference play. As for the Golden Hurricane of Tulsa, now 8-16 and 4-7 in league play. Back-to-back tough games, losing by 46 to UConn, and then 27 today to Temple. When we get back, we'll be joined by our star players of the day. We implore you to stick with us right here on the American Digital Network. On the
American, we are the spark that ignites, dazzling, brilliant, intense. We are plugged in with the volume turned up all the way. Because on this court, on any given night, the energy of 5 becomes the power of 1. That's power. We are power.
A Temple owl. Meet Stella. She's wise, fierce, and she's not alone. Temple University, where owls call home. We are the cherry and white. The city is our classroom, and we lead the rush hour, making our mark on every field around the world. A world without Temple, well, that's like the sky without the North Star. Temple, never stop.
We are American. The conference of opportunity. The opportunity to chase dreams. The opportunity to make your mark and change the game. Because that's power. We are power.
Conference championship is right around the corner, taking place March 9th through the 12th at the Excel Center in Hartford, Connecticut, as all 11 American teams will compete for the automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. Tickets are priced as low as $199. Get yours today online by visiting www.excelcenter.com, in person at the Excel Center box office, or by telephone at 877-522-8499. We look forward to seeing you in March.
Back here at Temple as the Owls take it 70-43. Big day for a few players. Aaliyah Butts had 12 points. Nice outing for her. But the stars today, Donasia Fountain, 15 of her 17 points came in the first half, 17 points and 9 rebounds. And Fionda Fitzgerald, 14 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists. They are with Jacob Wilkins.
Jacob Wilkins back here at the Leah Corus Center after the 70-43 Temple win over Tulsa. And we start with Fionda Fitzgerald. Fionda, you nearly had a triple-double. That would have been the first in school history. What was going so well for you out there?
Just playing my game, not forcing it, shooting open shots, finding my open teammates, and they knock down the shots and, crashing the boards, boxing out. That's something we do as a team, and that's what gets us going. So that's what I made sure I did to help us win this game.
Every game is so important at this time of year. What do you take from this game heading into the rest of the season?
You got to learn from this game. Even though we won, it was things that we didn't do that, we normally do well, like boxing out. I think they out-rebounded us, so we have to make sure we're doing the little things because that's what's going to help us win the game.
Congratulations, Fionda.
Thank you.
And we turn from Fionda to Donasia Fountain. And Donasia, you had 15 in the first half and really a big part of helping extend the lead heading into halftime. What were you feeling was a big factor in your success?
Just playing basketball. You got to take what the defense gives you. There's no textbook science to getting the job done. So just take what the defense gives you.
It seems like this offense is so balanced that either you're the big star, Tanea is the big star. How important is that in the success of a team?
It's very important. It takes more than one person to get the job done. So you never know whose night it's going to be. It could be Atkinson's, it could be Butts, it could be Fitzgerald's, it could be Fountains, it could be Sherrell's. That's just the lesson that we have on the team is that we all can do so many different things on the court to help the success of the team. So that's very important.
Lastly, what was it like playing in this atmosphere in front of all the kids?
Oh, it's amazing. This is about one of the only games, one of the few games I really look forward to every season. The kids are amazing. They're beautiful. The opponent can score, they're cheering. We score, they're cheering. It's a wonderful atmosphere. I really look forward to this game every year. The kids, they make you, they get the game going.
And I saw Coach dancing at the end. She was even pretty happy.
Yeah, that's how we win. See, Coach gets it in the huddle.
Congratulations. Thanks, Donasia.
Thank you.
That's Donasia Fountain, Fionda Fitzgerald. We send it back to Keith Arizari.
Yeah, Jacob, looks like these players are having a very good time. Winner 70-43. What's up next for Temple? They're on the road at East Carolina on the 11th, and then you can watch Tulsa against UCF on the American Digital Network also on February 11th. That's Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Final check into your stats, as it was Temple winning 70-43. Scorers: Fountain 17, Fitzgerald 14, Bucks with 12, 9 apiece for Khadijah Berger and Tanea Atkinson. On the Tulsa side, only one player in double digits. That was Erica Wakefield. And that will do it for us from the Leah Corus Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. For Jacob Wilkins and our entire American Digital Network crew, I am Keith Arizari saying so long and good afternoon. We will catch you next time.